All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Thank you for being here. Happy Sunday. I hope you're having a good weekend. Happy early President's Day for those who are off tomorrow, maybe, or who have other plans for the holiday. President's Day celebrating the birthdays of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, I have a long weekend, so I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm excited to get started on the design today. So the design we're working on again is the Austin FC Q2 Stadium, which I've been working on for a while, but I feel like now I have a bit more impetus to get this done. I've talked to a few people who are very excited about the idea of getting a large model done for the stadium. And I want to make sure that I have something to show that I'm working on it, that it's near a point where we can order parts, that kind of thing. I may end up ordering quite a few cheese wedge pieces just so I can have enough to like model the south stands in real life, so I can kind of see what it looks like when it's built, to add to all the other ongoing projects and things that I'm working on. And if you'll excuse me real quick, I'm going to take my sweatshirt off because the heater is on and it's blowing right on me. I didn't think it would be that hot, so I beg your pardon. All right. So we're in a Q2, we're Austin FC Love Unites jersey today, in honor of doing the stream. So let me know if the music's too loud, can't hear it, can't hear me, anything like that, if the video quality is good. So we'll just dive right in. So I got really excited about this bit of setup here last time. I think it'll work out well. I think the only issue I might run into is it rocking back. So I may go back to this and put in like another couple bricks in here, with maybe a slope or something, so it keeps it from rocking back. Ideally, I want it to be at an angle, but I also, like, I originally wanted these whole big sections, and I'm not 100% married to this idea, but I wanted the entirety of the section to be one long plank that kind of hangs from the top of something. The problem is, in the stadium itself, there's nothing really under these to be able to hang from. They just kind of end up here. And then there's buildings that go kind of along here, but the farther up stuff, there's nothing really up here. There's some like gantries and braces and stuff like that, but not enough, I think, to warrant building an entire thing to support this. So I think this is probably a better way to do it. This way I can translate this into an upper level one for these guys and use these as like the stores that exist on that level. So I can still kind of make it in chunks. I can do big chunks of just like 2x6 bricks to kind of build it up to a certain level, and then put these kind of riser pieces on it, and then build the stores around them in different color bricks. So I'm excited to see if this all works out. But again, before I get too far, I'm probably going to do this in real life. I'm going to find out how much it is to get 7,000 of any one brick from Pick a Brick Wall. It's probably going to be a lot. Let's look right now, because I would need, I think I have green and dark green, which means I'd need light green. I think that's the color in here. No, I don't need them all to be colored that. Bright green. Okay. So bright green. Let's look at just real quick at Bricklink and see what we got in here. 1x1 slope. Go ahead and log in just in case I need to make a wish list. So I have bags. I'm not going to need 7,000. The official count of the stadium is The seats is 20,738.58, something like that. And I have 7,000 of each brick. But if you notice at the stadium, we'll have different colored bricks over here. So while I will need 7,000 of the dark green, I won't need 7,000 of the middle or light green. So let's say 5,000, 4,000 maybe. I won't really know until I get all these built. But these side seats, you can kind of see here how they're a different color. So we've got these seats are one color, right? Up until here, and these are different colors. They're supposed to be the same green, but, and I've said this before, because of the webbing of the seat, you see kind of what's behind it. It looks a little darker, but they're supposed to be the same color. This is an interesting picture because these seats are actually different colors still up here. And I'm not sure why that's been changed. Early on it was like that, but you can see in this picture, how it's one solid group of colors, but then you can see like that carries over to here, that carries up into here, but this lower level down here and this level right here. So I may not need 7,000. If I knew how many seats were in each of these sections, I could give you a better count, but I'm not going to need that many. So let's just say 4,000. I think that's probably a good call. So if we picked known colors of bright green, I think it is. I don't know how far down the list we have to go for bright green. There we go. Bright green. And these are, search for the US, 2 cents a piece. So if I needed 4,000 of them, it'd be $800. Is that right? $80? I think more like $80. But let's take a look. Let's say minimum quantity 100. See if anybody's got any of that. Okay, so it looks like we've got some people. I could order all of these for 8 cents, 20 cents, 21 cents. So it looks like it's a wide range of if I wanted to get them on Bricklink. I don't know what these are called on Lego. Maybe roof tiles. I've never been really good at knowing what parts are called on Lego. Slope. I don't know if they're actually called slopes. They're not. Roof tile. Yeah, I think they're called roof tiles. Here we go. Roof tile. Okay, so I'm going to copy this description so I only get these. And hopefully I can just do that in a color. Can I search by color? And I don't know what bright green is in Lego. Is there a color conversion chart? Lego Bricklink color conversion chart. Yeah, that's just the color guide for this it? No. Higher up maybe? Is there okay, well this might help. So I don't know what which color is which. Okay, the top one is Bricklink and the bottom one is Lego. Oh, so they're both bright green. Okay, that's easy. Makes things easy. I don't show a bright green. Bright green. There we go. Neat. So not available. The type is not available from Bricks and Pieces, which means it's also not available on, I would guess, on Lug Bulk. I can't bring up Lug Bulk ordering system because it has price information and I can't disseminate that. Good morning, Texas. Good morning, Missy. Good morning, Zisu. How are you guys? I was just discussing pricing for needing 3,000 or 4,000 of these. So if I were to buy all of these out, let's say that's an average price of 18 cents a piece, and there's 950, 1,000. So I'm not good with math. Let's say 1,000 times 0.18. So yeah, like 180 bucks just for these pieces. That's not, so I kind of want to get a bunch of these to start making templates and build it in real life to make sure what I'm designing is working. Yeah, I could always use light blue, gray, everything. So, so they don't exist here. That's gone. Don't need that. This is a really helpful chart. Probably should build this myself. All right. So don't need that. Keep that. So yeah, I think what I'll probably start doing is building these out. Maybe this one to start, just to, because it's got this A on it, and I've already got the pieces for it, and I would only need a couple hundred of the bright green, or a couple dozen of the bright green, just to kind of give it an idea. But I have all these other parts, so I can start working on that. But I wanted to finish this section up today. So what has everybody got going on? Long weekend for some. I hope you have tomorrow off. That would be great if you did. If you don't, I am sorry that you have to work tomorrow. Let's see, other than the stream today. So Friday, this has been a jam-packed weekend. Friday, Beth and I went to a Bricks and Minifigs and South, and we let's see, I want to get, it's 8x16. Is there an 8x 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, an 8x10? Let's do 8x10. Late. I don't think there is. There is an 8x8 plate, I guess. We went to Bricks and Minifigs South here in Austin, and they had a Valentine's Day event where you oh no, okay, that's, did you see what happened there? I'm gonna redo it. It changed all of these because I copied all of them. I just wanted to change one, and I was like, no, would you like to change all of them? I'm like, no. So we went to Bricks and Minifigs for a Valentine's Day thing, and it was basically you pay, I think it was 75 bucks. And Brady Joyner Bricks was there, Justin was there, and he ran through an instruction on how to build, and I'll go get it. I don't have my build camera hooked up because I needed the tripod, so you're just gonna have to deal with this camera. But we got to build a little like trinket box, keepsake box, with a bunch of, I like how people still call them dots. They're just 1x1 tiles. But it's a little trinket box, and then inside you get to pick minifigs. So we got minifigs that kind of look like us. And the joke is she's giving me her heart. I'm giving her my sex tent. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, so there was pizza and cookies, and we got to do this, and it was a lot of fun. So it was 75 bucks for the two of us to be there, for the box, for being there, for Justin to be there, and pizza. So not great, but it was fun. I had a good time. This is probably $30 worth of parts. And then 2 minifigs. So, you know, not terrible. Plus, I hope they made a little money off of it, which is good because they're good people. So I also brought my Q2 Stadium to display there. So now I've got the UT Tower and the Q2 Stadium are in display at the front of the store. So I think that's great. And Justin did a really good presentation. It was a fun night. So that was Friday night. Saturday. See, is that going to change? Yeah, it's going to change all of them. I don't want to change all of them. I just want to change one of them. Can I just break one? Unlink. There we go. Now I can just do this one. Cool. I wasn't aware that was an option. That's pretty interesting. And Beth had an okay time. Like, I made her build most of it because I'm like, I was telling her, I was like, I can build it based off what Justin's holding. I don't need instruction. I think this is for you. Never too old for Lego. Good morning. How are you? Thanks for being here. Happy Sunday. If you have tomorrow off, then oh, I don't like how that's hinged right there. This one may need to be a little different. You know what? Again, I'll put it together in real life and see what happens. It's possible it'll be fine, but we'll see. Let's do plates. Did I see your Lego brick bucket challenge yet? I did not. Where is it? Just applied for your light monetization? I think that's 3. Do you mean site monetization? Oh, I apologize. I haven't really looked at, why is this? I haven't really looked at anything online other than some of my, you know, what is it? Some Blue Sky stuff. So I haven't looked at anybody's channels in a hot second, but I will do so. And then yesterday was a lug meeting, and we did all habitats. I posted on Blue Sky. It was a habitat challenge that again Justin did, Brady Joyner Bricks. And can I return to main model? Oh, cool. I could do that. I could do light monetization. Unlink. And we'll do another 8x8. Light. And 500 more, or 3,000 more watch hours. I'm wondering if I have that. I'll have to go look. You'd think after streaming for almost 6 years that I would have that. But I'd have to go look at my analytics and see. All right. So this guy's done. And I just have to put him back in place. So let's select all this. And let's move him inexorably back into place. Oh. Of course. It's 2. You can see how much these plates are offset. Like, I just want to, There's something funky about base plates in this program, always has been, where it doesn't matter where you snap them onto the level, they will not line up with each other. They don't like lining up with the build plane. They're just constantly like always a little bit off. So what happens is you have 10 base plates around and you build up on these base plates. And because they're off on the bottom, as you build up, everything starts getting a little wonky as it goes up. So you make a little correction here, make a little correction here, thinking it's just that one brick. Then it's this one brick, then it's this one brick. When I was doing the Capitol, I was having giant gaps forming all over the place because in the design, because of that. It's just ridiculous. You have to have that with all year's time, though. I know people that have channels for 9 years and still don't have that. Within a year's time? Hey, let's look. I'm curious. Manage. It's probably in YouTube Studio. Analytics. Audience? No. Overview. Watch time in hours. And this is within 28 days. So how much? 3,000? So 100 times, probably not. Learn more. I don't want to learn more. Do I have a year? Watch time, line chart, daily, yearly. Do I have a total? Last 365 days. I don't want to buy content. Bar chart? Yeah, see, these are different. Yeah, I don't. Looks like I got about 1,000 in a year. So, yeah, all right. Since I do live streams and I don't do like, which is weird, you would think live streams would have more because it's long form and people would stay watching longer, but so cool. Oh, something to my eye. All right, so we got a conflict here, and this didn't go as low as I wanted, so let's check it out. It's possible this needs to go forward one. I don't think I want it. We do this and select those two and that, and we go 1, 2. Of course, it didn't select the thing that I wanted it to. And that, and that. Please and thank you. It looks like the rows suddenly go off. And they're at a different level. So let's fix this. You can see that it's a higher level. The phlegm. So much fun. So I think I need to, instead of moving it, I think this needs to go one row down. And I thought I did that with this one, where it's the same row. And it is. So it's possible. This could have one more row in it. Let's count the rows in the actual stadium. I really do appreciate the amount of phlegm my throat and chest conjure up when I'm trying to communicate with people. Super helpful. I need a good image, one that I can count rows. Maybe this one. All right, so we've got of seats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And in here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, cool. So this one goes across from the 1, 2, 3, 4th row. And this one goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it does need to come down. So I had this misaligned. So we'll take this back out. This whole thing back out. So I haven't seen any other Lego news lately of anything major happening coming down the pipe. Like some summer releases of some Star Wars sets, some other things, like nothing like groundbreaking, I don't think. But you know, if you guys have seen something, let me know. I know our the big news for me is that we had our lug meeting yesterday, and we had a good 60 people there for our lug meeting, which oddly isn't a record for the number of people there. The most people we've ever had at a meeting was 68, and I don't know how we got all of those in whatever room we were in, because 60 people was quite a few people. And it was just really heartening to see that many people. The other thing was that we had probably 39 people bring in MOCs, which I think is a record for us. It helped that the MOCs that we were working on were habitats, which are really easy to build. So I think a lot more people got involved because of that. But it was really cool. Hey, thanks for selecting all those like I wanted you to. What else happened at the meeting yesterday? Nothing really. It was just a regular meeting. Did it feel like more? Like it? I feel like there were some people who didn't sign up. The problem is we're getting to the point where, and I don't say this despairingly. I'm trying not to be disparaging about this, but I feel like we're turning it not into a babysitting place, but I feel like we're turning into a, hey, this is a fun thing to come bring your kids to. And while that is true, we're not going to turn anybody away. Look at that. Wow. So nice. Go ahead and save that. It is turning into a family affair. It's gone less from an AFOL adult fan of Lego group into a bring the kids, you know, get your significant others involved. And that's great. But I have it in my mind of stuffy old AFOLs getting together and talking about the finer points of gauge of track, or how the new colors of translucent pieces aren't the same as they once were, and bemoaning the fact that we don't have monorail anymore, that kind of thing, you know. And now it's like, now we're like shooing kids away from tables because they're just so excited that they're bumping into everything, which we had to do several times. Like, it's one thing to go, if you guys want to come look at this and poke at it and take it apart, that's for the adults who want to know how you made that work, right? How did you put this piece together here? How did you put this piece together here? The kids just want to get their face right up in it. They just want to be right here and looking at it and poking at it. And I'm okay with that. But if at some point there's a rambunctious kid running around, please come parent your kid, you know, come walk with them so you can talk to them about what's going on, and you can be there in case they punch a model, you know. They're just, and I don't want to really say anything, but every meeting I try to emphasize, thank you for coming to the adult fan of Lego group. You know, I just try to work the word in more than anything. So it's a problem to have. It's a pretty good problem to have, because that means if they're there for a long time, we've got one kid who's been there for 4 years, probably 3-4 years, who's not even 16 yet. Like, I thought he was 16, he's 14, and he's like as tall as I am, maybe taller. So if he's there till he's 18, that's great. Now he's a new member. Now he's a full member of the group. So get him young is kind of a thing to say to encourage people to be in the hobby a long time. Sounds a little weird, but we do want people there. You know, we don't want people not to have fun and whatnot. But at the same time, it's like, control your kids, man. But anyway, I really went off on a tangent there. I want to replicate this section over here. But it's going to be hard to select. There we go. Let me just zoom in on that. I want all these. And I want all these, but I also want everything on top of these. And the thing that's always been hard about Lego and kids is we encourage them to be there and build and interact. But then we go, don't touch that. You know, it's like, but it's a toy, you know. And we're telling them, over here you can touch those Lego pieces, but over here you can't touch these models. And, you know, the kid's brain is like, I can barely understand the difference between cartoons and real life. Don't give me any of these restrictions. So I get it. It's a difficult thing for kids. So and two of the kids that hang off the tables used to be pretty bad were James's kids. But they were always really good about like, hey, come get off that table. Hey, you know, stuff like that. But they're very excited because it's Lego and it's toys and it's fun, pretty active looking things. Their kids have gotten older and they've started appreciating more and building a lot and being like, even now they're like 9 and 11, 8 and 10, something like that. Maybe younger. I can't gauge kids anymore. But even they are like, they're not up in anybody's face anymore. You know, I think they've sort of aged out of that. But there are a couple little kids there that are like, I just can't wait to put my whole mug in whatever is going on here. And again, I don't mean to be disparaging about it. I really want everybody to be involved. But at the same time, I'm like, this is an adult group, not a family group. So, but I don't know how to say that without upsetting like everybody. All right, so this is the same kind of thing we have on the other side. It should be roughly the same level, right? It's kind of the exact same. You go straight across here, it's the same row of seats because this is the concourse height. So you come straight off the concourse and right into here, right? There's a hallway right here that doesn't have any stairs even. At least I think there's no stairs getting up here. I could be wrong. There's stairs going up to this one, but I don't think there's any coming off here. I'm trying to remember when we leave at the end of the night. We basically sit right here. These are our seats right here. You guys don't see that. Okay, that's just me. So we always sit like 1 or 2, 4 down, something like that right here. We like it because it's quick exit, right? It's not too high up. Because you get up to here and you get kind of the I'm only coming to this game fans. These lower sections are for like the hardcore supporter group people. And then right along kind of this 6th row right in here, actually probably a little higher up, probably right about there. This is where La Murga is, the band, right? So there's a whole 2 rows of tubas and drums and trumpets right here. Then you don't see them in here, but there's right here, and right here at the bottom, there's 3 capo stands, capo meaning captain. And they're the ones that get everybody to sing. They're dancing, they're singing along, they tell you which song they're gonna do. So they'll hold up a 2, we're doing song number 2, that kind of thing. What's up, Cliff? You'll be lurking. Excellent. I appreciate you lurking. Your lurk time is meaningful to me. I will do my best not to just hack and cough and clear my throat for 2 hours. But so anyway, we can either leave right here, or what we like to do is at the end of the game, because we'll linger. Everybody else leaves, and then we'll linger. The band plays. The players come over and like clap and wave and stuff. And then there's a song that we play, and we hold up our scarves saying, "Hey, thanks for being a team," blah, blah, blah. By that time, everybody else is gone, and we can basically just walk across the seats right over here and out. We don't have to go down the stairs. So this should be the same level as this over here, which means either this level's wrong above it, which is likely, or I have to line this up to see if that's actually... See, and this is off by 1. But if I move it back 1, it's not going to be the same. So what about this is different? Well, let's count rows again. So let's move this back out. It's over here. We're good. I like the conversation already. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Come over here and we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then there's a missing seat. There's like a seat. Come on. There's like 2 seats. I can't tell if that's 2 seats short. I think it looks like, yeah, so much like over here, that's 2 seats and not 3. I should have added a 3rd seat right here. And then there's 2 seats missing right here. But other than that, that's right. So then if we go over to the other side, this should be roughly the same, because the top is the same all the way across. All the way across. And this should be 14 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so that's the problem, is this is missing 1 row. This is a soccer stadium, football, MLS, Major League Soccer football stadium. This is Austin FC's stadium. This is what it looks like from the outside. It does not look like that. That's a computer render of a concept. It doesn't quite look like that. This parking lot isn't used hardly at all. Trying to find an actual picture. This is a more, I think this is an actual picture from the sky. Yeah, I think these are more, this is like the south side. So this is the loading dock area and the concourse is like up a little bit. So one of the few sports I don't hate. Likewise, soccer, hockey, women's hockey. That's about it. That's really all. And then the Olympics. Like, I love the Olympics. I'll watch any Olympics. Doesn't matter. Every 4 years, I suddenly get involved in the biathlon, for no reason, or curling. And then when that month and a half is over, I don't even care about luge anymore. And this is a relatively small stadium. We were talking about this the other day. There's somebody who is in chat sometimes, Luffy from Switzerland, was asking if do you know what the biggest stadiums are in the U.S.? And I had to say it was probably a college stadium. I guessed Ohio State, but it was actually Michigan, which is hilarious because I think that's a rivalry. I haven't watched college football in a very long time. But it was I think the largest stadium in the world was in North Korea. It was a soccer stadium. And then it was, I think, another one in India, and it was a cricket stadium. And then University of Michigan, 107,000 seats. So this is 20,758, 38, something like that. And it's, it's a good sized stadium. It's pretty, but it's not. I can't spell Michigan right. For some reason, I mean, you can't even tell there are seats in here. That's just, look how many rows that is. That's ridiculous. Like, you could probably fit all of Q2 in just this little bit. But they pack them in, too. I mean, this is, can you imagine walking up here from any of these lower areas? That would have taken, ugh. Yeah, I don't know. So sitting in the supporter section, we try to, on our way out, pack out our trash, basically. And it's mostly plastic cups. You're not allowed to take in metal cans. So if you buy a beer at a place outside, before you come back into the stands, you have to pour it into a plastic cup. And that's for on-field safety. You can't huck a plastic cup and have it go very far, even if it's got stuff in it. Everything will come out, and then it'll, But if you got a full beer can, a 40-ounce beer can, or 20-ounce, you can huck that thing, right? Luffy, we were just talking about you. So when we leave on the way out, like I was saying, when we leave past this, we sit here and then we walk out past this way. We usually try to pick up flags because there's flags people wave, and they don't always get returned to the people who hand them out. So they're just kind of sitting there. So we'll pick up flags. We usually carry towers of cups with us on the way out, but it's just 1 or 2 rows. So we try to do that. And occasionally we will linger longer. I guess I could just say we linger, and pick up more trash. And then what they'll do is anybody who stays late gets a poster, right? So they'll keep aside some posters in order to reward the people who've stayed late. So I think what's happening here for this, I can't tell in that picture. That's not a very close in picture. I had another one that was better and I lost it. There it is. Is this row right here? It doesn't need to be this wide. So what I'm going to do, or this doesn't need to be this wide. One of the two. I don't think I'm going to care too much about this. I'm okay with being that wide. I think that makes sense as a walkway, as like a major walkway, but this can just go right up against it, which means I can get rid of these top bits and just do 1x6. So let's trade that out. How are you doing today, Luffy? How's things over across the pond? Weird thing across the pond for somebody who's kind of landlocked. Across the pond and then 2-3 other countries. All right, so if I do that with this one, I should have left this one in place. Hey, and it's not like 3 in the morning for you, so I appreciate you spending time with me today. That's very nice of you. And I need to fix the seats on that one section too. So this is a tube. This is a rigid hose that is the proper length for this section. But I think I might need to get a longer rigid hose because it has to fill out this whole area. So this is a 24, and I'm wondering if there's a 30. 30L hose. There is. And does it come in gray? And that's the problem. It does not. It comes in black and dark gray. So, do I have a 15 hose? And it also does not come in gray. Does this come in gray? It doesn't. Oh, well, I need to do something else because this doesn't come in that color. Brick without. What are you doing? 1x6 without. I think I put these in the wrong. Okay, so this happens every once in a while. I need to take these out because I'm never, ever going to use them. So be careful when you're doing studio designs. You'll get every once in a while a brick like this. There's a 1x2 that's like this too. You have to be careful which one you pick. So if you look, it says 1x6, 1x6, 1x6. It's really hard to see which one you need. This is the one you need. This is the normal one, right? Just a 1x6 brick. What you end up getting sometimes is these old bricks that only exist sometimes as translucent bricks. These were maybe part of a light up set or something, and they came without the regular like tube anti-stud pieces down here. They came with these like braces. So what you're gonna do, and there's like 1x2 bricks like this. There's 1x2 plates that are like electric plates that they have like leads on them and stuff so they can conduct lights or they can be a light. You got to be careful when you're picking these. I almost want to go through these. You can go over here and say remove from or hide so I don't ever see that. I'm never going to use this, right? But sometimes I don't like doing that. I did that with jumper plates, I think. I think I hid all the jumper plates that weren't the kind without the bottom groove on it. Like every once in a while, these are still relevant. Like I'll use the stud in here as like it'll sit on a open stud to kind of offset it a little bit. But I don't like anything that doesn't have a bottom groove on it. They're very old and they're harder to find. If they exist in a color that's old, it's harder to find, and they're just hard to build with. So that being said, I have to go in here and replace all these because these are the bad kind. These are the bricks without bottom tubes. So I want to get rid of these and put in the correct ones. All Let's see. So the rest of today, after the like immediately after this, I'm shutting the stream down and getting in the car and going. There's a lug member who's having a baby shower today. And I got invited. Beth is probably not going because she's not awake. And she promised that if she didn't have to go, she would do laundry. So we're going to see if that holds true. Now, where did I put this? This is also apparently the wrong kind. Yep. So get rid of these and put in the right ones. I can't believe I did that twice. That would have shown up if I didn't see it as a conflict over here. I would have seen it when I go to buy the parts and it doesn't show up, right? Or it shows up as like, when you're doing your list on Bricklink, it'll show up as a broken image because it doesn't come in that color. So I'm glad I caught it now. And the hose. Like I was just rolling with the fact that I thought, well, how long is this one? 32. All right, so this sticks out a little bit. That one doesn't come in, what color is that? 24. So we're gonna have to do a thing. We're gonna have to do an experiment where I type rigid hose, and this is some more Bricklink shenanigans, especially with Studio. So if you want to find without making any changes, you type rigid hose and you get every length of hose, right? But let's say, like in this case, I only want the ones that are in gray, so I know which ones I can use. So you can come over here and pick the color and do hide unavailable parts for this selected color. So I'm gonna, it's already in gray. That's what I want. So I'll select this, and normally it would take a while for that change to happen. But in this case, it's pretty instant. When I change it back, it might be a problem. All right, so the length I have here is 24. I have 4 6s. So I want something close to 24. And without being able to see this, I think you hover over it, you can see. So 13, 16. So if I have a 16 and an 8, I can do that. Is there an 8? A 9? And an 8. So I can do 8 and 16, yeah? 13, 16. So this will be weird when actually assembling it. You have to remember that, where each piece goes when you're doing this, but I'll have the instructions here. So this one's okay. That's a 32. What does this need to be? This needs to be also, I think this is going to be too long, but we'll see. I think it only needs to be as long as this bottom row, and this bottom row is not that long. So we're going to change this to, what did we say? It's 21, 20, 32. Okay, so it goes from 21 to 32. Let's do 20 to start, because I do not know how. I'm going to have to change the bottom row of these seats because I'm missing 2 over here. And I think I've got this right, but this looks like, as I'm looking at it, it should be more cut in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've got 1. So I need to get rid of like most of this section, and then 2 more. So let's work on that now, shall we? Is it on the bulk list? That may be my personal pick. Oh, it's going to be a lot of money. I'm going to try to do this without showing prices. Let me just drag it off screen. I'm going to look at it. I'll bring this back up. So I'm going to look at this off screen for a second. What was it called? It was called a roof tile. roof tile. 1 by 1, and 1 by 1 by 2/3. There we go. Oh, bright yellow green? Is it bright yellow green? Dark green. Bright, oh man. For 1 cent each. So if I needed 4,000 bright green, I might do that. That may be my personal pick. Well, Missy just shifted the paradigm of my day. Personal picks. Because they don't have, personal picks don't have to be out of the common parts, right? Oh, and it's bright green, which means I don't need as many, but I'm still going to get 4,000, I think. And I get 2, so I can do that one as 1. It doesn't show up. Does it have to be? Oh, it's loading. There we go. I am gonna, sorry about this, y'all. This is taking over my day. Let's see. Contemplated quantity, 4,000. Percentage saving. Alt source price, Lego price. I guess alt source price. So in Lego, or in Bricklink, I'm just going to do Bricklink because it's not available on Lego. 1 by 1 by 2/3 in bright green, known. Bright green. If I were to do minimum quantity of 50 and US seller, it's 8 cents. But in the quantity I want, it's 20 cents. But I think I just have to do savings per piece of 40 cents. Yeah, good call. Thank you, Missy. That's, as Beth is wont to say of me, I don't say the word choice. But that's choice. So now what I can do is I can build this whole south side section with all those pieces. I have all these backing pieces. These, I have, how many? 1,500 or so of these 1 by 4 snot bricks. So it's just now a matter of getting like the rest of the plates. What is there light gray? Medium stone gray. Which is light gray in, it's medium stone gray, right? Oh, that may be a thing. Let me, how many pieces do I have of that already? Model. Parts list, quantity. I have 200 of those already, of these. So if that's just for the south stands, I could probably use 1,000 of those. So, but I'd have to do a price comparison on this one. Let's find a known light blue gray. Where's light blue gray? Light blue gray. Minimum quantity. See, these are only like 2 cents a piece. So I wouldn't be saving all that much. I could just get them on Bricklink. But if I put in how much that is in the spreadsheet, and I say I might get 1,000, and I put in that it's 20 or 2 cents. Yeah, I'm not saving a ton. 46% saving. But it's better than nothing. And so that's 5,000 pieces for like $50. Yeah, that may be a thing. I'm just going to leave that for now. Woo! I'm excited. That is very cool. I thought about doing that, and then I thought there's no way. Like, I thought about putting them in as a common part, and I was like, nobody's going to vote for this. But I forgot about personal picks. That's super cool. And now I'm done for my picks. Like, I picked a bunch of other stuff that I don't think I'm going to need use of in terms of like what I might be building and like microfighters or Horizon machines or something, but forgot about the stadium. All right, so the next thing was going to be to break this up and rebuild it. So I'm going to close this so y'all don't see, because I can't show the cost. It's one thing that we can't talk about. It's like Fight Club. We can't talk about it. So this is 2 over. And let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. So the very first thing we do is we're going to release this submodel. I will redo it later. So let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. And this is 5 seats in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Reading that right? So we've already got 1. So we get rid of 3, 4, 5. We get rid of up to here. Get rid of all this. And what that'll allow me to do also is, what I should have done instead of gray, I can still do this, is go through and get another large amount of like olive, because there's these other colors over here that I'm working with. So like olive green or sand green. And with personal picks too, if anybody sees a personal pick that they like, they can also order off your personal pick. So if like I see something that you put in and I'm like, oh, that's a good piece, I can add 50 onto that for myself. So that works out really well. These seem wider here, so I'm going to do a 2 stair. And then there is a railing. There's a, this comes down. This is one of the few that do this. I don't think it does it over here, but it may. Yeah, so you can see it comes down a little bit, and then there's another stair that comes down here. So that's, I'm gonna have to work on that a little bit. But this goes, that goes, that goes, that goes, that goes. These all go. That goes. And then this has to be, no, that's fine. I'm gonna leave that. This is an upper area, so we'll figure that out, but this will be on its own. I'll fill these in while I'm here. It's an 8. Or no, it's a 6. And a 1. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. So yeah, this will absolutely allow me to kind of build some mock-ups. And, well, here's the thing. We don't know when we're going to get lug bulk. We might get it in June. We might get it in October. So, I mean, provided I'm still doing this by then, it'll just have to be like the mock-up I will build will be whatever. So that's a railing, but it's like a hard railing. So this is something I've run into a little bit of a problem, and this is my only solution for it. So you can't really tell, but you can kind of tell over here a little bit more. There's these sides that are concrete, right? And on top of that, there's railing, right? On the back here, it's a big concrete slab and then some railing. Out in the middle of the seats, it's just railing. It's just hand railing. But along the sides here, there's these concrete slabs that come up. And the only way I know how to do it is like this. But I was thinking of doing them with panels or tiles, but I'm not really sure how to do that yet. I just had an idea. Let's try it on this one. The problem is then redoing this to be something else. And I don't think the math will work. So let's play with it out. This is a brick plate, brick plate, brick plate. And how many bricks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there a plate underneath it? No. Okay. So let's play with it out here so we can get an idea of what we're doing. Hello? Still not going to the baby shower? Okay. I will. Hi, Johnny. How are you? Happy Sunday. What did I say? 8? Can't be that many. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. How you doing, Johnny? How's things? How's life? So, this may be a little complicated, but what we could do, mod brick. It goes well. Rolling along with this design, running into a few things that are very positive. I just feel like getting into it more and being more consistent is just going to help the help it roll a little better than what I've been doing with it. So, all right. So the trick now is to put these guys in here and have them hold on to a tile. Oh, I can talk about whether we placed our orders or not. We haven't. We have till this Friday to do our personal picks. And then at 9 p.m. on this Friday, I'm going to move this over here so I can take a look without y'all seeing the spreadsheet. This Friday is it. Then we have, I don't know why that was at 9 p.m. Oh, so I have to make a note of this. This Friday is our personal pick. So we do it in stages where we go, okay, here's the entirety of the list that you get to pick from. And everybody does it differently. Every lug is different in how they handle it. I know some are very autocratic where they're like, we've decided here's the parts we're ordering. And everybody goes, yeah, sure, that's great. Some are like kind of a free-for-all where it's just like you have 15 picks, pick them, order 50 of them, and that's it. If you want to order somebody else's, dump them onto that. No common parts, no anything like that. Just pick something. As long as they meet the minimums and as long as they don't go over. So we do it in stages where it's like the first 2 weeks or week and a half or 10 days or something like that is common parts. Everybody nominates something for common parts that everybody can order. Once that's done, then you do a pick for your personal picks, right? And once that's done, then the Lugboat committee will get together and weed out some picks of common parts so we can get down to like the 85 part list. So some common parts may not, like based off how many people want to order them, like you can put an indication if you vote for them or not. Lower voted ones will get axed, higher voted ones will be kept. And then the middle ones will be made like a decision, like we'll go through it and kind of, there's 5 of us on the committee and be like, well, we ordered this last year, or this isn't as good of a price as we could get elsewhere, or things like that. But then after that, there's personal picks, and you put those in, and no matter what, you order those, right? And nobody can take those away from you. The committee can't go, sorry, we're not going to order that. Then after that's done, the orders get placed, right? So you go into the system and say, all right, these are all the parts available. How many do you want? And everybody puts it in, and you've got like a minimum or a maximum order of whatever it is, 270 something bucks, I think. And then, then after that, I go into the system and take everybody's order and do a one chunk order like that. So is it 253 this year? Our buying power just keeps getting smaller and smaller. Like I remember when we started doing lug bulk, it was like 380, 350, something like that. Now I feel like we're not hardly getting anything. And it's such a rigorous process still. All right, so 2x4. That's going to conflict. Going to conflict all over the place. Get rid of that. Will this work? That will actually hold. Does the math work on that? Surely the math doesn't work on that. Yeah, that math doesn't work. But it doesn't conflict for some reason. That's weird. This should be conflicting all over the place. So, let's see, 2x6. Will that line up? Oh, look at that. This might work. What am I looking for? Modified brick. Yeah, we always, and there's always like, oh, in the past they've said now there will be overages and there will be overages and underages. So we'll be shorted or we'll be given more than what is in the system. And invariably that never means overage. That always means we're going to get shorted. And we always try to be like, all right, when we're doing our big sorting party, if somebody orders 5,000 of something and the rest of the group only orders collectively 500 or, you know, a couple hundred, then what happens is we start from the smallest amounts and work back. So if you order 25 of a part, we give you your 25. And everybody who ordered 25 gets their 25. If we're short, it comes out of the larger amounts, right? Because it just makes more sense cost-wise. If I order 5,000 and I'm missing 4, it's better cost than if I order 25 and I'm missing 4, right? So we try to do that. Sometimes it's $100 per, or it's 100 pieces per. Everybody gets 100 pieces, and you just have to kind of go. Everybody got shorted 1, you know. So there's a little bit of like creative sorting at the time. So this works. I think this works well. I'd rather it be not flush that way, but at least it's better than bricks, right? So every fourth, if this lines up right, if I'm looking at this right, that lines up. So every fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4, every fourth stud, it will connect. So that, well, no, I can see it in there. It's not connecting. That's too high. Dang it. I thought that worked. I wish this would show you can see it not, that actually interferes right there. Dang it. It would have been the right height too. So but if I just do one of these, it's not going to hold very well. It's going to fall. And it doesn't matter if I put it on the tube or not either. I hate stacked math, and suddenly Studio is not working well. See, that would still work, but yeah, you do. I was just hoping that the math would work out at some point. The farther away you go, at some point it'll catch back up, and I don't know what that is. It's probably 8. Like if I added another fourth on here, it would be 8. But because these are seating arrangements up here, so what I'm trying to do is trying to replace, oh, it's too wide. Replace these bricks with something a little thinner, but the bricks probably just work just as well. Oh, the problem is these are also floating. These aren't attached to anything. That's not great. So I thought about like if this was turned a little bit, imagine. This was turned whatever the angle it is, and these are all the seats. This would look a lot better than the bricks right there. But yeah, it is. It's brick, plate, plate, brick, plate, plate. Because it's 5. It's 5 for however tall one section is. The other option was that doesn't do any better because that's still going against, perpendicular to the studs. I was thinking about how to use these kind of things in here somehow. Something is going on because as soon as I start working in small scale, far away from the rest of the build, it starts getting harder to move stuff. Like as soon as I zoom in here, it takes a bit to move it. I don't know why. The memory's having to work hard or something. So let's get rid of this and go back and just work within the build. But I'm not worried about this right now. I don't need to worry about that. What I need to worry about, because I was worrying about that, is because this section here, oh, that can go away. That can go away. Has that kind of it's not railing, but it's like I don't even know what the terminology is. The wall next to the stairs. It's got a bit of a wall next to the stairs. And up until now, I've been doing it brick built, but I don't like the way that looks. Not to mention the fact, I think that has to be a little, this isn't connected to anything. So whatever I do, I want it has to be done here too. Instead of there being railing here. So like even these bricks can go away. These can go away because I'm going to fill them in with whatever is left here. So that's 5 in and then another 2 in, which means these all go away. And then these go away. I don't know what, I think that's just another step. Modified brick. A lip? Yeah, I don't, good enough for me. Let's just do this one as like this. Because it's hard to see because I think this lip was a little higher here. It looks like, it kind of looks like this. And I think that's what I did, is I put the onus to cover this onto the section in front. See, this is the same way. I need to trim this up too. That's minus a couple seats right here. So I think it's like that. And that's minus 2 seats over here. So we'll just do this. That's good. Which means I'm going to put this back to 4. And have that just be covered. Makes more sense to me. And on the other side, it's got 2 away. So we'll do that. Okay. Now I need to fill in these guys. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait. Isn't that what I took out away? So I've started a new project. Because I don't have enough going on and I don't have... Shush, Beth. This is from someone who has nothing going on. Yeah. Just your job. 10 hours a day. Are you going to come in here and give me sass? You just have your job 10 hours a day. What do you do when you come home?
I work 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
I don't get to sit and watch YouTube videos all day.
Yeah.
Burn.
Burn. I'm so burnt. Somebody get some aloe.
It's exhausting talking to people all day.
It really is.
And especially
I'm not more acutely aware of that as when you come home.
Yeah. You try to talk to 7 people about their childhood traumas every day. Sometimes you do.
No, thank you. At some point, I'd snap and go, look, grow up.
That's exactly what you do.
Stiff upper lip and all. $200. So yeah, I'd be...
So glad you didn't become a therapist.
I am a natural at this. Yeah, I'd get fired from a therapy job like the first day. Stop your crying. Did I fix this? So I can put this back under there now? What? How did you eat too much? It's just breakfast. It was mostly rice. Cliff's still here, everybody. What's up, Cliff? All right, so that's done. That section's done-ish. See how this comes out just a little more? So this is going to have, this section right here is going to be stairs that come back down here to basically this level. So not too far, but like starting right about here, there's going to be some stairs that come back down to here. So just this little bit right here. And we'll throw that in. It doesn't need to be attached to this. It can be its own free-floating thing that just comes right after that. I'm okay with this configuration right now. This hose can go away. And rigid hose. And do we have, yeah, we have that turned on. So what did we say it was over here? 32 is too big. We are slow, I think, on our stuff. Great leaders. You're yeah, this needs to be the same as over here. So let's do that. Your lug leaders, you mean? We're usually not terribly fast either. Our orders don't come in sometimes until October. But we always try to make it as democratic as possible, which is why I think it takes a little longer than normal. There's some people who, like, the list goes live and 2 days later they're like, our order's in. And we're all like, what? You know, it's like, we'd be lucky to get it done by the end of February. But on the LAN, you can see people will post their order numbers so that when the orders start coming in, they say we're order number whatever, and we got our order today. So you can look at your order and go, okay, we're 10 orders behind them. We'll probably get ours within the week or something. So it's good collaborative, like processing for that kind of thing. That's a little high, but I think it's okay. Let's say that might be able to be lowered. That can slide over, and that can go here. Can I get longer than 8? Can I get a 10? Can I get a 12, 11? Too long? 8? 9, 10. All right, now that the hoses are in place, and I'm going to put another grippy grip right here. This needs to go. I don't know why I have this spaced out in such a way. It should just go like this. Yeah, I don't understand my logic there. Yeah, we're always a little late in getting ours done, but we get it. We'll get it there eventually. All right, save. What time is it? I may bolt about 10 or so minutes early because, again, baby shower, lug members baby shower is at 1, and it's in Lockhart, which is an hour drive for me. Up here in the so imagine trying to figure out where Lockhart is on the Westeros map, because if you, I wish I still had this. If you look at a map of Austin, we're going to do this because I think it's fun. It kind of is Westeros-ish. Okay. You've got Dorne down here, right? You've got King's Landing. There's a bay right here, Blackwater Bay, which is this part of the river, right? So King's Landing, like the Iron Isles and stuff over here. This would be North Austin area would be the north. So this would be the Stark Winterfell. So this is Winterfell, right? And then you've got like the Dragon Isles over here where there's this other lake over here. And then up here where I live, this is basically Castle Black because this is the big tollway up here, and that's the wall, right? And then you've got some others. It overlays pretty well. And then you've got Essos over here. Like, I don't know what's over here. But Lockhart is... Where's Lockhart? Down here. So it's really far. So it's off the map. Like, I don't know what... I think there's some islands down there. Yeah, there's nothing really down there. I guess the Summer Islands. I mean, it's kind of like over here. It could be where Valeria fell or something. I don't know. Anyway, it all falls apart when you're like, well, where are you going? Well, we're going off the map. But anyway, suffice it to say, it's a very long drive. So like a few minutes before I'm going to bail. So I give myself enough time to get down there. And the event starts at 1, so I want to make sure I'm not late. Because knowing the way things have gone lately with me going places is I give myself an hour to get there and it takes an hour and a half. So, all right, so we're saving this. That's already been saved. Cool, cool, cool. The next step is going to be, let's see. Until I get the concourse built up, I really don't want to solidify the tops of these at all. But what I might do is start connecting these two areas. So this is a big tunnel that goes back into the loading area. So this, you can see over here, kind of this tunnel, and it goes back right there. It goes back to, there's another picture. That tunnel comes out here. So it's this level and it goes all the way through to the field, right? This is so that any big equipment that is field level equipment, sprinklers, things like that, can go straight back there. Also, when this place turns into a concert venue, the supporter section seats kind of collapse or can be removed, and they have to be able to get it in and out of the stadium. So what's for lunch, everyone? Whatever they're doing at the baby shower. I think they're doing tacos. So I'm holding out until we get some tacos. This is another thing that I'm worried about doing is this is the area I'm going to do next. So here's the supporter section, right? So this is this area right here. Right here. There's some seats there and some seats there. There's one big pillar right here that holds. There's 4 of these pillars on each corner. They're kind of under here. And they hold the roof up. Now the roof doesn't get held up just by those 4 pillars, but those are the inside corners. And then the outside of the roof is held up by all these other supports on the outsides, right? The roof is going to be tricky. I'm not really sure how to go about attaching it yet. I have some ideas, but it involves a lot of driving some very large Technic axles down into the base plates and have them sticking up, and having like the roof sections basically as Technic holes so they can just kind of sit. I'm not going to worry about attaching them with bricks. I think I'm just going to do it with axles and tiles so it can sit, and its own weight will keep it in place, but the axles will keep it from shifting. So if I have a bunch of axles lining the roof, I won't have to worry about it lining up for studs to be able to click in place. That way I can transport sections of the roof at a time. Like this will be 2 sections maybe. They'll be big, but they'll just be these big flat sections, and they can just kind of sit. And then possibly have them hooked into different parts of the roof on either side. I haven't figured out how to do the curving yet. Obviously, we're one step at a time. But anyway, this part right here will be, I don't know if you can see it from this angle, this big, you can see how it's these big posts right here that will drive up through the top of the roof. But then the rest of the roof is being held on the back sides by these, and the tops by these strings. You can kind of see they're being held by these strings off the sides. So it's an architectural challenge for sure. But the first part is I want to get some of these seating areas done so I can proof of concept it. Where did that other image go? There. So this will go right next to and a little farther back from these seats. So kind of like right in here. So the tunnel, this part right here walks right over the tunnel. The tunnel will be like right here. And then there's a big kind of brick area that goes along this section of the seating area. So it basically, this is your tunnel right here. This is the opening area. And we can start building this up. This is just gonna be bricks, honestly. It's just gonna be like 2 by something bricks. This doesn't need to be here like that, but I can leave it there if I want. That's just to indicate the ground of the tunnel is gray. But then if we took like just some bricks over here, it doesn't even need to be that wide. And it would start right about here because that's where the base of these screens need to move farther back. There's television screens all along here. You can see them right here. These are the ones that have ads running on them. And there's some along here. They're just not in this picture. They may be able to be removed for doing whatever work they need to do, and they can be taken off. This whole section here, I don't think these do, but I think these do. This whole section is removable, so you can put in a stage, or so it's access to a stage behind it. So these I think need to be moved back to the front of this. So let's move this back a little bit. So like here. And then the field may need to be widened to allow for, can I do one more, or is it going to interfere with that? Yeah, it's going to interfere with that. Although it could, and I just deal with it being on top of that. Like I raise up the angle of this a little. If I can do that, what would happen? I thought that was attached. Oh no, it's attached up there. Yeah, this one's a little different than the other ones, so it raises this whole section. So let's, can I raise it up like a nth of a degree? What is it at now? 335, 334. That's too low. That's the wrong way. 336. And this is, again, a lot of this is proof of concept for me to be able to build in real life. To see how it would work. This may not work in real life, but it's given me a starting point, where to get the pieces, and then I can kind of muck around with them and figure out what needs to be done in real life. Because at the end of the day, I'm not doing this to, you know, if I if I build this and the first thing I get from people is, do you have instructions for it? I'm going to find out who those people are, and I'm going to drive to their houses, and I'm going to squeeze them until their eyes pop out of their heads. Come on, man. You were just in here just a little while ago. This is basically for me to build the thing and not for public consumption, so. But there's invariably going to be someone who's like, you have instructions? Okay, so that didn't work. So it needs to be farther up. And I appreciate the, still needs to be farther up. So on 4, I appreciate the enthusiasm and thinking that I'm doing this so it is as an ideas project or something, which it's not going to be. All right, so that's good. So again, this piece in here is just to inform this piece, as it were. It's to kind of make sure that this isn't, if a hand comes down on it, it doesn't completely squish through, right? It's just to kind of, because a stack of bricks 20, 30 high like that at an angle, someone's going to put their hand in that and it'll break through. So this is hopefully to help it keep from breaking through. It's not structural, it's not attached. And it's just a handful of bricks, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, a plate, 6 tiles in there, just to kind of keep it level. Catching up. Fried bologna sandwiches. Nice. I've never had a fried bologna sandwiches. That's sounds very southern, and it's not something that I grew up with, so it's hard to say. So real quick, we're gonna stack these. I'm just assuming I'm gonna be able to find a load of 2x6 bricks because they are slowly becoming the backbone of the build here. So, and I don't know, it's hard to see what level this goes to. Maybe the 8th row. And even this angle, like that angle looks like it could be a lot steeper. What I'm trying to do is line up, I counted the seats. So here's your concourse, right? This will turn into where everybody walks, this level right here, which means it has to line up with the top of this level. Now, this isn't going to attach to it directly. There'll be these lips that come up right along here, right? And you'll step down into like the first row. So this could be a little higher than that. But even that looks like it could be a lot. But you can see this is the same level as that, just with more rows. So I think I did an okay job with that. The angles are different. And I counted the seats, so I mean, the math should work. Yeah, so this should stack up. And go the other way now. And this is just to give an indication of how high this is going to go up. And at one point I need to start turning it because it's got a weird cross section, weird angle in there. Oh, so anyway, I was telling y'all, I think this goes up to what, row 9? I'm actually, I think the point is I'm going to make it go up until it looks right and not really count because there's going to be some sections that just don't work. The new thing I'm doing is I've started writing, and I started writing a, looks like maybe one more. I started writing a Horizon Zero Dawn story. Go figure. That looks about right. That looks good. And then we'll move it back. So this becomes your tunnel. And there's a big thing being held over like right about here. So started doing a Zero Dawn story, and I'm maybe 10 pages in. I started writing yesterday, but I was able to get through. I have a story idea that is basically the third part of this story. And I know it's not going to be this for the video game. The video game starts in an area that's kind of Colorado, goes west, basically towards like San Francisco. And it hits the states in between. There's areas that you can clearly see are like canyon country. There's areas of Nevada. There's references to Las Vegas. There's references to certain skyscrapers that are definitely like the Transco Tower or whatever in San Francisco. Burning Shores is then going into LA. So down the coast. Frozen Wilds goes up into basically Yellowstone, so north of Colorado. And there's actually Old Faithful. You can see Old Faithful. So it's compressed a little bit because there's no way in 3 or 4 days that you could walk from Denver to LA, right? Or San Francisco. And there's portions of like California has fallen off the map. There's portions of it that are out across the water a ways. So, but I think there's rumblings about the third part taking place farther up the coast into the Pacific Northwest. Which would be great. More coastal stuff, but some snow, maybe some, they tend to like their mountains. So having a mountainous area would be really good. A lot of different wildlife. We could, they could set up new tribes of people, not just like the Bannock and the Tanakh or whoever in that area, but some other stuff. This is all just rumor and hearsay and whatever. There's thoughts that the story might go across the ocean. But there's an overarching threat to the planet. And she goes back to her home base, which is kind of in like Utah area. And then all of her friends kind of scatter to go warn people. And they go to different places like Nevada and back to Colorado area and back to San Francisco area. So my idea for this story was that there's not to like spoil the ending of the second game if you haven't played it, but there's this threat that they think is coming from outer space, right? The story goes that some humans have fled thousands of years ago and they've come back. And we think they've come back because they want to take over the world, but they're coming back to flee this other thing that's chasing them. And this other thing is like a mass of consciousness, right? Pieces of programming that were stripped from all the people who traveled a very long distance across the stars. And it sort of became this insane conglomeration of human consciousness. And so what it's doing is it's pursuing these people and it wants to strip and destroy everything on the planets that they go to so they can't live where they're going. That's the idea of the game. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to have this third chapter be that they're not being pursued, or that this originating signal didn't come from wherever they were. It was here the whole time, and they misinterpreted where the signal came from. And so in Aloy's rush to like warn people, they find this weird signal out east, and so she has to go track it down because they're not sure what it is. It could be this malevolent thing, or it could be something else. So she has to go basically into like the Mississippi basin to find out all this stuff that's going on. but the Mississippi Basin has flooded in the thousands of years, and the rebuilding of the world, and like the catastrophes that have happened, and the re-terraforming. So the whole thing, she goes through basically a swath of the plains countries that is nothing. The Pharaoh plague, which was a bunch of robots that like use biomass to fuel themselves, has stripped out the middle of the country. There's nothing there. And so it's just this band of wind and silt and grayness and nothing. And she has to cross that. That's the first part of the story. She has to cross that to get to what is basically a flooded Mississippi basin. And then the story picks up where she meets a bunch of tribes, and she meets all these different people. And there's like 4 or 5 river tribes, and then there's a bunch of cavern tribes into sort of like the Kentucky area, the caverns and stuff in that area, and then kind of back down into like northern kind of Arkansas kind of stuff. Anyway, and then back to her homeland in Nora country. And it's this wild chase of trying to figure out where the signals come from, but also the machines she starts fighting start looking more and more human. And there's a bit of the story that I'm working on where this sentient thing starts rebuilding monsters or rebuilding machines, but instead of animals, because it doesn't really understand animals, but it understands humans. So it starts trying to figure out how to build human robots, but they're all like these grotesque caricatures of humans. They have too many legs, they're too big, they've got 5 heads, stuff like that. And that's what she has to start fighting on her way back, including like giant machines representing people who were allies of hers who have died. And so they're like these recreations of dead people for her. And so she's got to fight these mental battles of like, anyway. So I started writing that, and I'm like very excited. I'm getting through, and I just, the story is going to be a very linear, she did this, she did this, she did this, and hit all the tribes along the way. But if I could get 100 or 150 pages out of it, I'm going to be happy. So it'll be fun. Be a good exercise. See if I can do it. I've always wanted to do writing. I've always wanted to, have a science fiction book out there. And I did write something many, many years ago that turned into a comic book, that turned into a different thing, that turned into something else that I never finished. So this would be kind of fun to see if I can do it. I'm going to try not to do it at the sacrifice of Lego stuff, but we'll see how much time it actually takes. I think I can do a 16 by 16 plate there. And then we'll start doing this stuff back here. So I'm going to call it for the day. I'm going to try to get a couple minutes head start on getting down to this baby shower. I should be back Thursday. Let me double check, make sure I don't have anything planned. Yes, Thursday is open. I don't know if I'll be doing any of this. I don't think I'll be getting any sets by then, so maybe more of this. Maybe microfighters, maybe Horizon machine designs. We'll see what happens. I may turn the cameras around and work on the steampunk thing, so we'll see what happens. But you guys have a great weekend. I hope you have tomorrow off. If you don't, hope you have a good rest of your Sunday, and I will see you guys soon.